All right, and we are live. Hey, everyone. We are here tonight. I'm Kaylee. It's my channel, obviously. And then over here are my friends Tim and Katie from the channel Tim and Katie. That will be linked down below. And they do vlogs, but also they're Loki lovers like me. So they very kindly decided to come on my live show today and let us do a finale watch. It has to, I feel like it would be wrong to do a live watch of a finale without Tim and Katie, because it was their, I mean, honestly, like when I did WandaVision, it was their idea. They were the ones that were like, we need to do like a live finale watch. So I feel like I have to do it. I have to do it with them. So
you ruined it because they moved it to Wednesdays, and on Wednesday we have to work the next day usually, and we're like, oh no.
I know. Which I still think we could have kept it like on a Friday or a Saturday, but obviously this week is y'all's anniversary, and so that kind of ruined things a little.
Plus, like the amount of time that you have to like stay off the internet to avoid spoilers, I already feel like
I know it's already been 24 hours. And
that's hard.
Good with spoilers.
That's true. That's very true. Well, anyways, so we're going to get into the finale episode, but really quick, I was going to ask Tim and Katie what y'all thought of, not really thought of the episode, but what are your kind of predictions or wishes going into this episode? What do you want to see happen? I'll start with Tim because I know what Tim wants to see happen really bad. Go ahead, Tim.
Kang! I want Kang! I want to be right. I wasn't right about Mephisto, and I need to be right about Kang. You don't know how much I need this, Kaylee.
Yeah, WandaVision, Tim was very convinced Mephisto was in there.
There was so much evidence.
It's okay, Tim. It's okay. You win some, you lose some, and maybe you'll win it today. We'll see. I think that pretty much it. If Kang's in this, you're gonna just be happy.
I'm really more of a go with the flow type guy. So like the Loki Sylvie thing is exciting and much more so to you guys, I know. But I like to see where the relationship goes and whatnot. I just like as far as like things that I absolutely need to have in this episode. I was actually surprised that we got the Elias fight last episode because I thought for sure that I thought for sure they were gonna cut it like right as they go into battle, whatever, and make us wait for that. But now that we only have like the unveiling left, I need to know who's behind the curtain, and I also need it to be Kang. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, I am of the opinion I think Kang will be. If we don't see him in this episode, I think whoever is in this episode is going to be working for him. I think it's going towards Kang. I'm 100% sure. Katie, what about you? Do you have any hopes for this episode?
Well, with the knowledge that there is a second season, I'm not sure if this will happen in this episode, but jet skis. I would like Mobius to achieve his dream of riding a jet ski, but if they're still doing stuff in the next season and he's not, settled into his new happy reality riding a jet ski, then maybe I'll have to wait. But that would be cool. If there's going to be no more Mobius and this is the end of Mobius era in the show, then he needs to ride a jet ski. I don't want to get too hopeful about Sylvie and Loki because I really don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
As long as they're not hopefully, I mean, I don't think Loki Prime, that's what I refer to as, Hiddleston Loki that we've been following this whole show. If Loki Prime, remains alive, which would be ideal, I don't want and Sylvie to necessarily be like separated or for her to have died or something. That would be sad.
I think what I was so not even worried about it last week, and I think I used to watch this show called The 100, and that show at the end of every single season, the two main characters that you wanted together, they would end the season apart. They never could end the season together, and so I, for some reason, over this week have been like, they're not going to keep them together. It's not going to happen. They're going to get separated. Just getting all this PTSD from The 100. So I'm feeling like I just don't know.
Trademark.
Yeah,
they can't let the CW shows end with them together. Same goes
for So I don't know, because I feel like it could go either way. Like it could go. I want them to end on the same page. I feel like that's a little too hopeful, but I just don't want Sylvie to die or Loki, and I don't want them to like hate each other at the end of the day. If they don't hate each other, and if no one dies, then I will be okay, I think. But
character development and relationship development season, I'm all for that.
I mean, it's only been like 3 days in real time since they met, so it's okay if we need to flush it out. Yeah, they've been through a lot. Time moves different in the TVA.
He's like, what? How long has it even been since New York? Like last episode?
Yeah.
And he was like, it was like months. Like, well, I don't know, but yeah, I feel like, again, obviously, I would love to see some good Sylvie and Loki moments this episode because, you know, I'm trash for that. And the other thing I really want to see, kind of on point with what Katie said, I really want to see Owen Wilson say the exact word, wow. I really want to see that.
Yes.
We kind of got, what did he say?
How?
Yeah, how. So that might be it, but I would love for him to say, wow, this episode. I think that would be my hope. But anyways, before we get into this episode, there is one other thing I want to share. And we were flailing about it before we started. And it is here. It says, Loki and Sylvie on a date with Destiny.
You just cut it off.
Is there a formal ship name for this couple? Because end in key, so it's harder to like.
Silky.
Loki squared. Soki. Lilby. I don't like Lilby. That's bad. Soki. I'll call him Soki for right now. Or I don't know. I'm still also thinking, and I promise I will say this and we'll get started. I'm still also thinking though, for real, that the whole like love is a dagger is going to be like a big like, you know, kind of parallel for them. So I'm scared. I'm scared for what that means. So anyways, we'll get into the episode. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I need to full screen this. Hold on.
Okay. So that's a no, we're not ready.
Okay, go.
Okay, wait, get back on the couch, right?
I have to hit a button as soon as you play it.
Oh. Okay. I'm playing it now. I'm not ready.
No.
It's going.
Okay, is it happening?
Stuff's happening. Disney Plus.
There we go.
Wait, okay, I just got to the previously on part.
We're in.
Are y'all good?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay, are y'all looking at, what are y'all seeing right now? Because I want to make sure we're on like
head falling off. Head being picked up. Ravana. Asteroid falling.
Okay, I feel like y'all are a little behind where I'm at.
It should auto adjust though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's adjusting now, I think.
Okay.
My sound just cut off.
I think I'm just scarred from our previous experiences where someone was always on the wrong episode or something happens.
We need a genre to be watching the wrong episode.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not ready. I'm really not.
I'm gonna fix that.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Our headphones died for a second.
Wait. Pause it.
Do I need to pause? Okay, I'm pausing. I'm paused. Okay, we're paused.
Oh, we're already at a disaster.
Oh, wait, why did it get unpaused? Did you unpause?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Tim, I'm letting you just control this.
Today. Sorry, you're going to hear it.
No.
Just going to be
It's okay.
Dang it, we were the troublemakers today.
Oh, man. All right, it's fine. Unpause it at your leisure. We'll just keep it low if you turn the subtitles on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, are they off? Are they not on?
Yeah.
I thought they were on. It says they're on my screen.
Oh,
so we have to do it. What kind of group watch is this?
But, hang on. I was going to say, we're at a part where there is like no subtitles right now.
Maybe.
No, I think we had to click them on for us. That's weird. I guess you can't individually turn them on.
But that's like nice though, honestly, because like if I'm doing a group watch with someone and I like subtitles and y'all don't, then that's perfect. So, but we both like subtitles.
Feature. It's a shame it didn't work right.
Okay.
We're ready.
You ready?
Ready.
All right. Okay.
Kaylee played the video.
I'm so nervous.
Oh. It was black for a while. I was like, what is going on? Oh, this is different.
A friend from work.
Where did I tell you not to? Where did I just go? Let's do.
Wonder. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Why'd you have to put that in there? A vision.
Where are we even?
Whoa. That's a beautiful shot.
It's like Hogwarts almost. Like a weird Hogwarts.
Gothic Hogwarts.
Wait, this intro's different.
Yep.
Right?
They're not even, there's no music.
Well, there is. It's just
different.
It's not the theme music. Sometimes the subtitles are great because they say like
Suspenseful music. It really looks like Hogwarts to me.
Love that Loki's wearing a tie the entire series.
I know. I really like his outfit.
Yeah.
It's kind of counting on you to kick the door in.
These little random cracks are interesting.
Mm-hmm. It just opened? It just opened.
Why am I like getting a Hill House vibe right now?
Getting Hill House
Hill House
vibes.
shot.
Absolutely. With the one light on.
Yeah. Just like the shot was very Hill House. And it just closes behind them.
It's a haunted house. Oh, gee!
Oh! Darn Miss Minutes.
Oh man, is she the big bad?
That'd be a bummer if she was the big bad.
Ah, they called him He Who Remains. Yeah, this is how people get sold timeshares.
I was thinking of like Ursula signing the contract with Ariel. That's the vibe I'm getting. This music. Oh.
No temptation of the Loki twins.
The Loki twins? I don't like that. That's not going to be their ship name.
Dagger ship.
Oh. Oh, that look. Oh.
What's the catch? Ooh, Miss Minutes.
Miss Minutes. Oh, she's nasty.
I bet you if I Googled right now Miss Minutes true form, we would see some sort of horrible monster. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those rings.
Your friend that you pruned. Miss Minutes is hiding stuff from you.
This is what I asked for. But he thinks this will be more peaceful. Happy ladies.
What is it about, though?
She asked for like all the files from the beginning and end of time.
Yeah, but what did she give her instead is what I want to know. Oh, Sylvie.
This must have been a super fun set to build.
Yeah, it looks like they just took like spray paint and went all around the wall or something. Like, it's crazy.
This should be a house at Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah. Hint, hint. Halloween Horror Night.
What happened here? Oh. Oop.
Let someone look at the door.
Is that an elevator?
It's me, Doug! It might be.
Is this Kang?
I know they
They
cast
had
it.
already cast him
I
already.
knew what the guy they cast looked like. I didn't do enough homework.
I'm just confused because they had another Loki in the promo. Did they just like fool us?
No, not at all. A man who's like itching his nose.
I was expecting a little more intimidation or something.
Nope. Okay, so he's a little bit more powerful than he lets on, right?
Oh,
It's very
I mean-
bubbly.
I just want to establish these are all Kang colors in this room, so
I mean, he could just be not wearing his helmet.
Why would you not wear your helmet if you're Kang? I'm sorry, Internet. I don't know enough about the Marvel castings.
What? They're sitting down so awkwardly.
We're waiting for like the chairs to attack them or something.
Mobius.
Inhales and exhales.
You don't even know what the mission is.
That's why I had to be 100 times in my office and everything.
What is that?
– 2018. What a year.
I knew the pen had something to do with this.
You need to listen to me. What is going on here?
Oh,
What the hell are you doing in my school?
this is her before.
Sure.
Did it say 2018 though? Because this does not look like 2018.
That was 2018.
Oh. Duh. Girl, she's got some anger. Got some anger.
Mm.
Oh, there you go. Get out of the way. Just before the kill. No, it's because about what it's going to happen like that.
He's very different from what I expected if he was Kang.
Yeah.
Very different. Hmm?
He's a shipper.
That's how we got here. No, wrong. Every step you take, running the word. Up. Good. Good. You. You just walk out.
Hmm.
That's this.
Oh.
And I have to rest. Right here. Everything ways to go. And why always so? Yeah. What do you think if you're hanging with the big chain by your stuff? It needs to happen. It's all enough. The right mindset to finish your quest. Nice.
This really does make Thanos look less intimidating. Fuck.
No, don't turn them against each other.
Leave her alone. She's been through a lot.
Better hope he never has a bad day.
Ah, what happened?
You betrayed me. No, you betrayed me. I looked out for you. How might I have for you? Suffer a crisis of faith in terms of those variants?
I feel like this is a slur.
Couple of Lokis.
Couple of Lokis.
What are you doing?
Where's she going? Oh. Oh.
Oh, don't get pruned again.
Oh, Mobius.
Keep going.
In search of you.
Oh, she's gonna go find him.
That was a quick change.
My methods are deceptive. Definition. Anyone. Not me. Without the I could have done many things other than a ruler.
Tim, you living? You living right now?
Just tell us.
It's him. It's got to be him.
I mean, he's a time traveler, obviously.
Yeah.
Before the variant of myself on Earth, universes stacked on top of the earth. At the same time, other versions of us are learning the same thing. Naturally, they make contact and for a while, just not existing, but laboratory
Mm.
They're really dangling the carrot here.
I mean, it's him. I just want him to.
Yeah,
Game.
it's him. I feel like 100% sure. You don't just put Conqueror in that list. Elias.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I recognize Elias. And I ended the multiversal blitz. One guy had to realize that. All I have to do is manage the flow time and prevent any further branches. Hence, the team hence the high keepers and a high bureaucracy and ages and ages of harmony and love.
That walking on the desk. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
That's the damage. I play more I like to think of it as something well worth
Yeah.
maybe. I've done for every scenario. This is anyway.
He's like, I don't think he is though. Oh.
There's two options. One, kill me and destroy all this. You don't just have black now. You have to fix it. Or kill me. Guess what? Goodbye.
Someone calling Loki buddy.
This is the strangest villain I think I've seen.
personal to me.
Terrible, horrific things. Now,
Man, I can't get a read
This
on
is
this guy.
this is very Kang though.
It's very manipulative.
It's always for the greater good. Those are the best villains.
Is he having a moment?
A little bit, yeah.
this goes with good.
Oh,
I'm so confused.
I thought they were gone.
Go on, good.
So I fibbed.
Branch!
He's a little scared.
He howls deeply.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Take over and my life would continue. One delay in my chest, then an infant mouth or another multi-person war, and I just end up right back here anyway. Reincarnation.
It's needed another finish.
Oh no, I don't like where this was going. Mm. He's so weird.
I like him. Be fun to hang out.
He's an interesting villain for sure.
I do think that the King the Conqueror
Oh, sorry.
is definitely going to be one of the more
Aggressive.
aggressive
But I think this
variants.
is him though.
Ah, ah.
Oh no, the same actor.
Hold. Wait. Oh no.
Oh no, they're fighting! No, no.
Oh no.
So I don't think he was lying. What about that? Yes. But maybe this thing is true. Better hurry! Someone's already breaking.
What precisely is this?
I feel like this is an old married couple, like fighting.
So that you know this is not I need to get something. We won't have to do it. It is not.
Really like how Loki's thinking about this.
If we just I promise you from my heart, this isn't going to hurt.
Right, yeah, trust.
No, Sylvie!
Why are they doing this to me?
I know. Exactly what I said. What?
Oh, why am I about to cry? What's wrong with me? Oh,
Trust me. What's the point?
oh.
You see, this is bigger than our experience. We can help us.
Oh.
So wait. Wait.
No, I'm so sad.
This is not what I wanted in life.
I know.
Why am I about to cry?
Because
Oh.
he's so sweet. Oh, he's so desperate, and he doesn't want to hurt her.
Maybe he's lying. Maybe he's wrong. The cost of getting this wrong is too great. Fine. Do it. Kill me. Take it from me.
Ooh, that was a cool jump. It's not John His.
This is very intimidating.
Ready, stop. Stop.
I'm not ready. Oh my gosh.
Oh, my heart.
Oh, the tears. Oh. No. Oh. It's happening.
Okay. He's me.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Sylvie. Ugh.
No. Girl.
Where did she
Why?
get head? Oh, it's a temp pad.
Well, why'd he leave it on the table? That was stupid.
He did that on purpose.
Stupid. No. Oh. I don't ever like stabbing things. Why is he winking like that? That's so creepy.
I mean, he said his variants would be coming.
I know, but
It didn't seem like he got stabbed very hard.
No, I was gonna say the same
that
thing.
was
The softest
very. I just.
noise I ever
I thought
heard.
she actually stopped right before she
Yeah.
stabbed him. Are we just gonna? Is it just gonna end with the multiverse?
Sylvie. What is she gonna do now? Well, I guess she has a Tim pad, so she can go somewhere.
Here goes. Look at it go.
The branching.
That branch. Oh, whoa.
Oh, that was-
whoa. Oh, that's a lot of
look,
branches.
it's splintering.
Oh, boy.
That is a lot. Whoa, that's a lot.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Sylvie girl, what'd you do?
Oh.
Always. Why do I want Sylvie and Loki to say that to each other?
I know.
Just say it.
Loki.
Oh, he's so sad. Poor baby.
Again. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think you can reach him.
I need to. It's so sad.
Thought they were going to hit him.
Are they still trying to prune these branches? Because they
Gotta
gotta
find
give
a new
that
way
up.
here. This is the weirdest, coolest music. Thought that the whole show.
What's done?
We agreed the timeline. We found beyond the storm. I said with them at the end of time. He's terrified. Man, everything. He's seen everything. He knows everything that's possible. Okay? But someone is coming. Countless different versions of a very dangerous person. And they're all set for reading the back to the
What?
Oh no.
He
Why'd
got
she send him to a different time?
back to a different TVA.
Timeline. Oh no.
Oh!
Oh no. Sylvie, why are you doing
The Kang the Conqueror costume.
Why Damn.
Are you kidding me?
Ah,
Oh, we got Umbrella Academy.
Oh, they did. That's exactly Umbrella Academy.
Oh,
And it's going to be a year before we see what happens?
No, it's gonna be Spider-Man 3 before we see what happens.
I just need to know why Sylvie sent Loki to that timeline. What the heck, girlfriend?
I mean, maybe it just...
It could be that timeline was the original timeline, but by the time he got there, it was all trippy again.
I guess.
know.
I don't know.
Like the micro branches shift timeline, like variants. I don't know. At what point does the variant timeline become a variant timeline?
I think Sylvie was like, I'm going to get him back to where I know it's safe and send him to the TVA. Without realizing that it was, the branches were already splintering. And then as
Yeah.
that Kang died, it was just chaos.
Oh, how's he ever even gonna find Sylvie again? That's the real.
I don't know. I have a lot to process in my brain.
I got a kiss, and that's it. They're separated. Mobius did not ride a jet
Yeah,
ski.
you guys all kind of got a little bit of what you expected.
We got Kang, even though they refused to say his name, but that
Yeah.
was 100% Kang the Conqueror.
I
So
just
I
have.
guess-
But interestingly, I don't think that was Kang the Conqueror that will be the Kang the Conqueror villain in the MCU. I think that was like our look at how he might not be such a bad guy in other universes.
But that's exactly it. He's a variant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the variant of Kang that will ultimately come to wreak havoc is not that guy who's now dead, obviously.
Well, he
So-
could be a different actor, yes.
No, it's the same actor. I'm telling you. I told you from the get-go. I know that's the actor because that right there, that shot in the credits that keeps popping up, that was always Kang. It was that guy.
Is there a end credit scene?
There better be, or there will be blood in the streets.
Jason Loki.
Okay,
That was.
so
That was not the end credit I wanted. Let me just say.
Oh, this music though.
that I guess was. Is April on? Is April on?
I don't think anyone's on, and it's okay because I was crying, and I didn't need anyone to see that. I was like, why am I crying right now? It was just like, I don't even know. I was so upset. I knew it was coming too. I knew as soon, because they kept panning to their faces, and you could tell Loki was believing him, and you could tell Sylvie was like, no, I can't trust anyone. And I was like, this is not going to end well. It's just not.
I just don't think he was gonna. I mean, I will give Loki credit because she definitely did stop and think enough to send him like out of the way, whether it was out of harm's way or out of her way.
She's
Yeah.
full of rage.
But-
She's a rage monster.
But literally, she spent her entire.
Yes.
I don't know how many years, hundreds, lifetimes she had spent to achieve this goal. So I don't
Yeah.
any way Loki was going to talk her out of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonathan
ahead.
Majors was cast as Kang the Conqueror for Ant-Man and
Okay.
the Wasp: Quantumania.
What
I knew what he looked like, but I could he looked different on screen. I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
you said as you were watching, you said, I wish I paid more attention to the casting because I can't tell if that's him or not.
Yes, which is what I was saying. I knew what he looked like as a vague sense, but I didn't have him.
But we have already seen with Loki that variants can look different than
Different. Yeah.
the actor.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors.
I realize that, and he is definitely Kang the Conqueror but I'm saying all of the variants we might see of him in the future, whether it's in this show or the Multiverse of Madness or whatever it is, they might not all be Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Could be. He did a great job.
He did.
He's obviously Kang the Conqueror.
he was
that's
very-
going to be a problem.
I couldn't think of the word. He was very he reminds me a little bit of the Joker from Batman in the sense that he's I'm not I don't think that Kang is as sinister as the Joker, but he's very
Yeah.
and today, guys.
I know. He was so funny. I don't know. It was very different than I was expecting.
It made
but
me very uncomfortable though.
Well,
That whole scene
yeah.
was very long.
It was
and
great.
It was great, and it was some great.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think we were all expecting coming into this finale, although we didn't say it at the beginning when you asked about our expectations. I think everyone was like, okay, it's going to be like a big, drawn-out battle where they're going to try to end time. Visually, that's what I was anticipating. The entire episode was like a battle of mental stability.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I mean, from the time they walked in there with Miss Minutes was trying to be you want this? I can give you this. I can give you the perfect timeline. And then, turning them against each other, trying to I don't know. I feel like he had to have been trying to turn them against each other at one point because he started talking to Sylvie about, do you trust him? Can you trust anyone? And I feel like, I'm not saying he wasn't being truthful when he said he didn't know what happened next, but I almost feel like it doesn't make sense for him to want her to kill him, but everything that he did, it led to he riled her up, calling her, what did he say? He said grow up and things like that, just things that I'm she already has a lot of rage and you're over here telling her that she needs to just grow up and get over it and and then leaving the temp pad where she can get it and things like that. I just felt like that was a little weird.
It's possible that Kang is so methodical as to say, there's a comic. It's not Marvel, but in the DC Comics realm. there's a character called Owlman, which is a multiverse variant of Batman, and he's so methodical as to say, I can't win this battle in my universe, but if I die in this way at this time, it could also lead to my victories in 7 other universes. And that could be what Kang's up to.
Yeah.
It could just be like, this version of me has to die in order for this one to truly be a conqueror. But it also could totally be that he was just like legit tired, and he knew that the only way out was for Sylvie to kill him.
Yeah.
He did seem like he was ready for whatever was going to happen, whether it was getting robbed or stepping down as master of all time or whatever. But that's interesting that he was like literally dodging death blows from both of them before, but I guess he wanted to like let them know of their choices.
I mean, think about it, the fact that this entire chaotic landscape was created by one act of free will is kind of like proof of what Kang was putting on the platter for them. Like I think it's Supernatural that had one really amazing line. I didn't watch the entire show, so anybody who goes back and watches this later, I won't know what you're talking about past season 5. There's one really great line that's always stuck in my mind because it's true, which is, you can't have it both ways. What do you want, peace or freedom? And that's kind of what free will is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Practically and in the context of the show. So in a sense, like, he offered them free will, they took it, and now we have a mess.
I feel like the line that I thought of, like, through the whole thing, like, toward, like, I kind of got this vibe towards the end where, I mean, I'm kind of at the point where I feel like it's Loki's line where it's like, no one good is ever truly good and no one bad is ever truly bad. And I just feel like, how dare you, April? I'm joking.
I think that's kind of the theme of this show. Right?
Yeah. Because I don't really think that, I feel like, I don't know. I'm still suspicious of Kang. That's who I'm going to assume he is. And I'm suspicious of him, especially because he, like, at the end at her and was like, I'll see you again, or I'll see you later, or something like that. And so I'm still suspicious of him. But I feel like even Ravonna and him, like Ravonna was saying, it's like, this was made for a purpose. And, he was saying, like, it wasn't personal. It was, it had to happen. And it was practical. And then you have Sylvie and Loki and, like, Mobius and people who are like, people should have free will. So I don't think either side I think has their points. But then it's like, finding that balance between the 2 points that I think is what's going to be hard coming up. But
I think there's a balance to be achieved. Like, these are 2 polarizing concepts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunately for Loki, and this is the case for the Avengers too, because Thanos made some good points about how the universe is going to end because of how much free will we have. And it's kind of a running theme in the MCU, but for Loki to become heroic, he had to embrace his own really believe what he'd been trying to sell all along, which was this lie in the world is freedom. You need someone to rule you. And now it turns out to be like true in the truest possible sense, practically speaking. And Sylvie's on the wrong side of things because she's still pre-developed Loki, because she hasn't had the time and the experiences to develop her the way that Loki has been now.
She just hasn't had any, like, she didn't have anyone. Like she said in the last episode, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's never had friends. She's never had anyone that's meant anything to her. And I really didn't feel like she would kill Loki, because I felt like she could, like, he's the one person, like we were talking about in our last live chat. I do think Loki is like her one good memory and the one person that she does actually feel a connection with. And I feel like that's why she didn't kill him, especially with all her rage. I feel like she would have killed like, she's killed a lot of people to kind of at the TVA that really at the end of the day probably didn't, they were just soldiers in the war. But I don't think she would have killed Loki. I told April I cried, and she said she knew I would. And she says that the MCU villains anger her with her sensible argument.
Those are the best villains, though.
Yeah.
If you can sympathize or understand where they're coming from, and they make you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 90% of the best comic book struggles are against two opposing forces with equally good points.
Yeah. So
that was
Tim,
Cap was right. I was wrong at all times of every day.
Let's have a moment, Tim, and just appreciate the fact that you were right. You were right this episode.
Yeah, you didn't get Mephisto'd.
I'm going.
I know.
On vacation to celebrate my victory.
We were wrong about Mephisto, wrong about the Bad Rabbit, but you got Kang.
I still don't think I was wrong about the Bad Rabbit.
I think
they cut the Bad Rabbit out.
The Bad Rabbit.
Oh, okay. Tim's arguing on that point.
Hey, they said in like a follow-up interview there were scenes where he mutated into a demon monster, and I was like, no, I needed to be right about that. Why didn't you say it? The ending that made us all sob and just
So
well, go ahead, Katie.
Do you think that the change in the Marvel logo, that was an artistic change, right? For this episode specifically, to
I think so.
Like different time and characters and stuff like that.
Yes,
okay.
Because we had what's his name? Classic Loki. One of his lines was thrown in there, plus lines from the alternate timelines, plus lines from the end game of Cap meeting himself. Is that I'm sure if we go back and do like an analytical dive on that opening sequence, we'll get everything bulleted out from exactly what clips and movies they were taken from. But it was definitely like multi-timeline. I'd be willing to bet. Yeah. I don't know how clever they are, but if they're clever, as I think they are at Marvel headquarters, I'd be willing to bet they threw in a quote from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in there just to like troll us a little bit.
Because that's a multiverse thing.
It's since been uncanonized or decanonized, retconned. Other things that have popped up in the MCU.
But now they can just say
it's now they can just be like,
it's another universe.
It was a multiverse, see?
Yeah. The only two lines that I remember are Thor saying, "It's a friend from work." That was in there. And then I think Vision's line was in there. Grief is just love persevering. And and I was like, why you gotta do that?
I know. I was like, oh, I'm already starting out with this dagger in my heart. Thanks.
I know. A dagger, Katie, don't.
You know, it's so wild.
I chose my words very purposefully.
Triggered.
Up till Endgame, of course, you would be very confused if you didn't watch Endgame and I guess some of the movies preceding before you watched Loki. But now it's so interconnected, the whole MCU, through these shows and these movies, and yet so removed from one another. Like, all those multiverses were stacked on top of each other, that audio from the beginning. It's just kind of a high-level look at the tapestry we've woven here of all these different projects that everyone is kind of like familiar with, and some of us are more familiar with some things than other things. And it only makes sense if you've seen it all, but parts make perfect lucid sense if you've only seen parts. I don't know. It's just really it's taken,
very intricate.
It's taken 15 years to get where we are. And it's like the whole superhero culture that we've built up around the MCU and all the shows and movies that have spun off of the MCU in that time just serve to support this grander story of this multiverse has only been possible because of what we did for the last 10 years. Otherwise, it would just be like, this would be totally without context and totally adrift and not very engaging if it was the first show that came out, even if it wasn't Tom Hiddleston in the lead, if it was just some character, it wouldn't be as interesting to watch. It's because we're familiar with all these timelines and characters so intimately that it's so compelling. I don't know what to do with anything, but I wanted to say it.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I just saw someone say Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston.
On that boy. Man.
As Has anyone seen the Simpsons short? Well, Katie and I have. Have you seen, Kaylee, the Simpsons short on Disney Plus?
I've not.
It's like 6 minutes long. Loki gets
I'll have to do it.
sent to Springfield and just trolls the Simpsons for like a couple hours. And that's it.
He's so good.
It's great.
We didn't get our wow either, which makes me very sad.
There's another season of Mobius.
I know. And I wanted to get into like our thoughts on like what is going to come in season 2. But before that, I feel like I have to do something. And I feel like Katie may have to do this too. And I need to flail. And I also need to like not cry, but I need to just have a moment.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
We had
yeah. I do love him too. Okay. There's so much. I just don't even know. There's so much. Obviously it was just beautiful. And I knew it was coming. I knew they were about to fight. I love their fight scene in a way of like, I think it was interesting. I liked seeing 2 Lokis fight, but then it also made me so sad. But it's cool that it happened, you know, because I think seeing 2 Lokis fight is cool. I love the part where like she wanted him to kill her and he couldn't do it. And I was like, sorry. And obviously the kiss, which I'll probably have to rewatch after this occurs.
You actually probably, when you go back after this video is concluded, you need to go back and put a timestamp in the video on when the kiss happened so that everyone can see Katie's reaction.
I honestly I wanted to see y'all's reactions during this so bad, but I had like do it full screen, and so I don't even know. I feel like mine was something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tim did that.
I did.
I don't remember what I did. It was something with my hands. I think I screamed, actually.
Oh,
I think
yes.
I went, ah!
I know. Oh my gosh. It's like, okay. I'm like, okay, but they've kissed now. And like, that has to mean something, right? It has to mean something.
Honestly,
anyways.
As much as excited as I was about the kiss, I think the part that caught in my throat more than anything was Loki throwing himself right in front of Sylvie and her just barely stopping in time before chopping his head off.
As soon as she went slow-mo and he was against the back wall, I knew he was going to pop up. I thought she was going to accidentally murder him, though.
That means that I don't know. It's just so many layers. Like, Loki felt like he knew her enough that she was not going to actually kill him. And then Sylvie was in tune enough to know to stop.
Yeah.
That was just like that. I was like, and then I couldn't even like bask in it for too long because they were just making goo eyes at each other. And then they kissed, and my brain kind of shut off at that point, and it was only sound.
I know.
Oh.
I know. I feel like he. I don't know. And this was really significant to me, and I wanted to say something, but so much was going on, so I didn't say anything. But okay, the very end scene where he like goes to Mobius and he's like talking to him, and it's like the alternate timeline Mobius, and he says like, we made a mistake. We blew up the timeline or whatever. He said we, and I was like, oh my God, he's like taking responsibility with it too. He's like, I made this with Sylvie. Like, it wasn't Sylvie that did it. Like, we did it. And I was like, I don't know why that hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, I just love him so much. And I feel like, I don't know if they're ever going to have like a happily ever after. I want them to, because I feel like Sylvie deserves that in her life. She needs like that scene where Miss Minutes was like, I can take away all of the years of you like running through your life and having nothing, no happiness, and like I can give you all these happy memories. And obviously she wants that with Loki. I feel like, my personal opinion is, I think that's the only person she's connected with. And yeah, anyways, I have some feels. It probably makes zero sense right now because it's a lot.
I realized something when this has not, sorry, Kaylee, this is backing
no, it's okay.
From them for a second because I just thought of it. There was some either, I guess, trailer footage of
Loki in the throne room
on a throne that
Never made it in.
I don't think we ever saw in the show. So I don't know if that was just Marvel being a bag of
being marveled again
with their this is footage we're not actually using, or if it was supposed to be somewhere in the show and we never saw it, because they did talk about like you could, like Miss Minute says, like you could be on the throne, and she says you could be, you could have all your childhood back.
I think if I had to guess, it would have gone there because the shot. I'll try to imitate it as best I can sitting down. The shot that Katie's referring to is Loki in a throne room looking back at the throne, and then he turns around like this. So I imagine that probably in the director's mind, it was going to go there, and Miss Minutes was going to put up like an illusion or projection of some kind or an enchantment to show off what he could have, and that was going to be a more visual representation of the temptation. But I don't know. It could be archive footage that they're saving for another
Maybe
season.
It was a Loki that never made it in like a variant they had to prune or something that they never made it into the show. I just thought about it. I'm sure there's other footage that didn't make it in because of cuts and stuff. But this is the only show of, correct me guys if I'm wrong, the only show of the 3 series we've watched that has been greenlit for a second season.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was greenlit from a second season from the beginning. Before it even premiered, there was so much hype for Tom Hiddleston's return to the MCU.
I mean, I can't.
That it was greenlit from the get-go. Yeah, it had to have been written this way.
It can't, I can't imagine, because I know this has been Disney Plus's most popular show, I think. Isn't that true that it's gotten the most watches or something on Disney Plus?
Yes.
So I think so. They obviously knew, but there's no way they could be like, "Oh, it's really popular."
I think
we're gonna have to change the ending.
Yeah, I think the only thing that they shifted as a result of the popularity was the date of future premieres based on the watch numbers. That's all. Because Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, those were always planned to be one-offs, and everyone, even the actors associated with those projects, were saying in interviews like, "Yeah, I don't think so. It's pretty conclusive." But during I think even before the first episode of Loki premiered, the producers were sitting down and saying, "Yeah, I mean, certain shows like Loki lend themselves more to a second season, so we'll have to see." And usually that's as close as you're ever going to get to having Marvel confirm something before it's confirmed. So
I have another comment on the second season, but I need someone to explain this comment from April.
From April?
It was
so
Marvel
in the Infinity War
Hulk
trailer, at the very first Infinity War trailer was all the Avengers in Wakanda running at the enemy, and Hulk was among them, and Hulk obviously wasn't in Infinity War beyond the first 5 minutes because of Bruce Banner.
So it was a fake out. Okay. Thank you.
I'll find the trailer for you.
Thank you.
Darn you, Marvel. Darn you.
Well, so I'm thinking, because this season, it's more of I would say a limited series than a show with only 6 episodes. I feel like that.
Yeah.
I'm
That would have been a better way
wondering
to
if
advertise
maybe they. Yes, thank you, April. I'm wondering,
Sorry.
maybe they had planned on more episodes, but after being released, but after the success, they're like, we can stretch this out, guys. And maybe maybe they pulled a couple episodes that were supposed to be in this season.
I don't buy it.
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, the way that the CW and Fox and all the other network TV shows work, and Netflix for that matter, typically they plan a 3-season story arc and they pitch that and they say, this is how far we plan. And actually a great example, I'll detour a little bit, is Supernatural, because when I think it was Kripke, the producer, the eventual producer, came forward with the pitch for Supernatural, he put it down as this is a 5-season show. We've got a story arc that lays the groundwork in season 1 and takes it all the way up to the final episode of season 5. And that's our show. And all the producers said, or all the shareholders were like, yes, love it, do it. It got so overwhelmingly popular in its final seasons that they came to them halfway through the second episode of season 5 being shooting, the intended final season that all the cast and all the producers and everyone involved with the project thought was going to be the final season. And they said, hey, we just greenlit you for 3 more. And they've got this perfect, flawless ending written for the end of season 5, and it's very conclusive. And they were like, And so the way they added like a little, almost like an MCU post-credits scene, but it was like just before the credits of that episode, they added a little stinger that opened it up for more story in a very not satisfying way.
It was mean.
And every subsequent season, the previous writers all left, unfortunately. So every subsequent season, in my opinion, sorry for the Supernatural fans out there, got progressively worse because they didn't have anything to progress towards anymore.
And then it went on for 10 more seasons.
Marvel is so much more methodical than that. Like, they never assume that one show or one movie is going to do well. But because they were able to do, let's say, I don't know the exact number, but let's assume at least 5 years of consecutive story building that had such a grand end result in Avengers 2012. They have a proof positive money model for how this can be built. They don't need Loki to do well if Captain America 2 does well. They don't need WandaVision to do well if Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness do well. There are always going to be people to drive these numbers and make some kind of profit off of the model. But I think at this point, they're planning things out. That's why they call them phases in Marvel, because they're doing phase 4 now. Phase 4 is scripted all the way to the end. I guarantee it. I don't think they're going to add any new content unless they pull it from the cutting room floor. I don't think they're going to take anything off the board either. It's just kind of shuffling things around. And that is my Marvel rant for the day. Everyone else can talk now.
Katie, were you wanting to talk about season 2 or what you thought, or was that it for season 2?
I mean, my hopes for season 2 are the same at the end of this episode because
jet ski, right?
Jet skis, and for Loki and Sylvie not to be separated.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
His like dirty, sad puppy dog face when he's back at the TVA and he's just like, everything is awful and I hate it. It was so sad.
Let me tell you another scene I liked while we're on this, and I'm sorry, this is a big part. I love the whole episode overall. Let me just say that. But there was this one part that stuck out to me. Thank you, subtitles, by the way. And it was like when they were fighting, and he's like, you know, of course, like trying to calm her down. But there's like this one part right before he's like, well, just listen to me, whatever. And they're like going back across the room, and he's like, Sylvie, like he's like pleading with her. And the way he says it, it's like the softest voice.
Like, he became like, I don't know, he became like such a soft boy. I don't know.
He did. And
like,
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Go back and watch the first episode where he literally just got yanked from his glorious purpose timeline, and then go to the end, and he's just like, give him a hug.
That's what I was going to say. That's why I love the Mobius and Loki bromance so much, because Mobius, say what you will about the development pace of the series, but it's very clear that Mobius taught Loki how to pull himself back from the edge of whatever.
Yeah.
I credit Mobius with Loki's development.
And then Loki took that and was immediately able to start helping Sylvie become a better person. Like, friendship begets friendship and hate begets hate is like the running theme of the series. So
yeah. I think Mobius definitely had a big role in it. I mean, especially in that scene right before he got pruned by Ravonna, a few episodes back, you know, where he says, like, you can be good, just in case no one ever told you that, like, you can be good. And I think he kind of like gave him this thing of like, you know, your luck, like, if you
sad,
like,
happy.
Yeah, he kind of did this whole vibe too of like, you know, like you and Sylvie, y'all like we're creating a branch. Like you can believe that you can have love. Like you can, like, I think he was trying to tell Loki, like, basically to pull a Chuck and Blair quote, you don't think that you deserve the happy ending, and you don't think you deserve the fairy tale and things like that. I feel like that's kind of almost Loki. I think Loki feels like he has to fight for it, and he has to, like, he's just been the underdog and been the one that has been like inferior his whole life. And so I feel like he just doesn't ever think like, oh, I could have these things. Like I could have love and I could be good and it could be simple.
Well, I feel like Loki's, the analogy I'm thinking of now, kind of coming from this conversation, is like an abused dog at a shelter. Like that dog, when you first see it, it's like it's ready to fight you. It doesn't want to be anywhere near you. It's food aggressive. It's toy aggressive. It's whatever, because the things that it's worked to get, it doesn't want to let go. And then you take that dog and you take it out of that environment and you put it in a place where, those, it doesn't have to, fight to get its resources, doesn't have to, do anything. And the love is just showered upon you. And then like a few months later, you see, I know we're talking a different time here, but a few months later, you see the dog, and that dog is cuddling with you, and that dog loves you, and the dog's licking your face, and that dog will do anything for you. And I know it's not the best analogy, but that's how I'm kind of like seeing him, just how he's come from, like,
yeah,
he's just, I don't know, he's kind of let himself, as you guys were saying, like let himself be loved and love. And I think it does a lot to change a person.
I mean, the interesting thing about Loki as a character is that if you go back, it's like pulling teeth to go back to the beginning of the MCU now and watch like the infancy stages of Marvel. But if you watch,
I've been trying to do that.
Yeah, really won't say it.
Hence my Captain America first Avenger.
Okay.
Reaction.
So,
Iron Man 1 holds up, guys. It does.
I found my reaction videos to that the other day. We'll have to
Get out.
in Thor, if you go back to Thor 1 and you rewatch some of the scenes, and I'll tell you too, these scenes have resurfaced on YouTube and become very popular recently for obvious reasons. But if you go back to Thor 1 and you watch like original Loki's rise to villaindom, nothing that happens to Loki is like him being like pushed aside or marginalized. He's not like, the only thing that anyone ever did to Loki to maybe make him feel lesser is they didn't tell him that he was adopted. But they were mostly, and even if you go back and watch like the conversation between Loki and Odin, where he finds out that he's an adopted frost giant, and Odin's like, I thought we could use that your life here to help bond our two kingdoms and end war. And Loki's like, so I was just a chess piece? And he's like, no, that's what you started as, but that's not what you were. You became my son. And I just like watching Loki rise into his narcissism is really just overcompensation at the end of the day. He just feels like he doesn't belong. Even in his own time, feel like he belonged.
Yeah.
Everything he did since that point has just been him acting out. So
I
finally
think
someone comes along and says, you can be anything you want to be.
Yeah.
You could be an alligator.
How could that not pull on you?
Be an alligator. Yeah, I think I just recently watched the Thor movies, obviously, before this. And there was one line that stuck out to me in that first one where he like was saying, they were monsters, or like he felt like he was from like the frost giants that are being seen as monsters. And I feel like that's kind of deep down like what Loki, he's like, I just like he feels different, and like you said, Tim, I think he overcompensates because he feels different. And obviously I think he also kind of like, Thor frustrates him in a lot of ways. I feel like he thinks like Thor is the good guy, and Thor is the one that like everyone like liked and like everything. But I think he honestly, from what the vibe I got in the first one, is he was like, Thor is like kind of an idiot, and like I'm so much smarter, and like I would be so much a better ruler than Thor. So why don't people see that? Like, why don't people see I'm the better choice? And I think that's part of it, obviously.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is that Thor's rise to stardom, as it were, in Asgard is unprompted, simply because he is the firstborn. And to put him side by side with Loki and see Loki sees this absolute jerk excel and advance and he's clearly more intelligent than that guy, but is for some reason feeling like he's less intelligent or less special.
Yeah.
It's the dichotomy of the two of them together that really makes Loki more understandable as a character. But still, it's I think it's just the way Loki is, that he doesn't feel like he belongs for one reason or another. And everything he does, he's like looking for excuses to lash out. He's looking for reasons to say, see, I told you didn't like me or you didn't trust me or whatever.
Well, I think that's what Sylvie was doing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. By the time we get here, Loki has developed and matured to the point where he can accept himself for his flaws, and he can move forward. Sylvie is still at that overcompensating stage.
I knew you were going to betray me. I knew you just want the throne. Why did I trust you?
See?
The trusting. I feel like the trust is lacking. And I think it's, I don't know. I don't want to gush too much more about them, but I really still, I'm just, obviously I'm disappointed they're not together at the end of this and they're separated. But, the we part of his speech to Mobius kind of gives me hope, because I feel like he's still in it with Sylvie. He won't
give up till he finds, he's going to find her.
Yeah. And I don't think he's going to like hate Sylvie or because he says in one of the scenes, when they're in that little citadel, he says like, I know what you're feeling. Like, I've been there. I know. And he does. I think he understands Sylvie more probably than she understands herself. And he understands what she's feeling. And it's something he would have done. I like 100% for revenge, because he could be that way. But I think he's just grown so much this season. It's such a beautiful season for him. But I love that he can be that person for her and be someone who really does understand her and really be on her side. And I think at the end of the day, I can't see him not being on her side and trying to at least help her. He might not agree with what she does, but I feel like he didn't kill her. I mean, he could have killed her for the good of everyone. He had the chance, and she let him have a chance, and he couldn't do it. And his little voice, he's like, no. I was like, oh.
I'm gonna plug my forecast for season 2, because before we dove into
go ahead.
Strong after the Kang thing.
Before we dove into adjacent topics, I did look up what the Marvel release schedule was for the rest of the year. So obviously, Spider-Man, I think, is the next MCU proper release. What If is kind of off in nowhere land in terms of how it applies to the main story. So What If comes soon, and that's the animated series of Opportunity. But Spider-Man is the next MCU release that actually has anything to do with what's going on. So at that point, I suspect we're going to pick up in mainline Marvel where the branches have started occurring in the multi-Marvel. And that we already know that they're going to have all the Spider-Man and some of their villains and some of their love interests carried over from previous films, which is going to be really, really cool. I don't know how that's all going to resolve, but I know Doctor Strange is in that movie. It's been confirmed. Yeah. So Doctor Strange is going to be at the other end of this, trying to sort out everything that Loki and Sylvie have broken, and Wanda to some extent, because I know she, being a Nexus being,
Wanda,
started up something
you guys,
and then done.
I still can't wait for the Wanda and Vision and all that. Like, I forgot. Oh, the feels are coming. Like,
we're going to have to rewatch all of these.
I have so much. There's Wanda and Vision. There's Loki and Sylvie. Why is see, Marvel knows I was dipping the toe. I was dipping the toe in the Marvel universe. And then they're like, oh, let's give Kaylee all the couples. So Kaylee's like,
and let's make it as complicated as humanly possible.
And Sam's sister, is it Sarah? Bucky and Sam's sister?
Yeah.
They had a vibe. They had a good vibe.
So I don't know. I think Doctor Strange 2 comes out in March. I could be wrong. But I think that Doctor Strange 2 is going to put some kind of plug in the multiverse chaos. I know that Ant-Man and the Wasp is 2023, or Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is 2023, and Kang the Conqueror is the only role he was ever confirmed as being cast for was as the villain in that movie. So somewhere between Doctor Strange and Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2022 to 2023, is Loki season 2. I suspect that there's not going to be, I think the war is going to be stopped between season 1 and 2. And we'll have to watch the movies to figure out what happened there. But I think that by the time we hit Loki season 2, my forecast is going to be that the multiverses all still exist. And there's a newly developed way to hop between them. And so we're going to pick up like a year after what just happened. And it's going to be Loki and maybe Mobius and is it B-15, B-50?
I wish they would give them real names. I can't remember all these letters and numbers.
Yeah.
She's B-15.
It's going to be
because it was
those
Z-20 who got
at least Loki, if not the other two, also like trying to hop between universes, tracking down Sylvie, basically just so he can say "I forgive you."
Sylvie. I never thought this would happen. I didn't expect to like her. I'm telling you now, I really didn't. I already pre-ordered the Loki and Sylvie Funko Pops, and now after this episode, I feel like I need to get Mobius. I don't know why. I'm just like, you know what?
Because you got to have the bromance and the romance.
You got to.
I mean, it's interesting too if you piece this together with what's already happened in the MCU, the Disney Plus shows. We know at the end of WandaVision that Wanda's flipping through the
Necronomicon.
I'm calling it that, but that's not the actual name. The Darkhold.
Yeah, that one.
Looking for ways to bring her kids back, and she can hear them echoing across the. Well, we don't know where that.
Wait, was this the after credit scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the finale.
When she's
Wait. I didn't even know she was trying to bring her kids back. What on earth? Was I asleep for this part of our chat? What?
It's not. You have to do some analytical diving.
Okay.
It's floating and doing the astro projecting reading like once did.
I'm not ready.
Hearing her kids' voices across the astral plane.
Oh my gosh.
As if to imply that she's looking for ways to bring them back. And
Yeah.
so that having been the case, I would put money down. We're going to find out that WandaVision takes place roughly on this, like at the same time as what's going on in Loki. Probably Falcon and the Winter Soldier too. Like we're gonna probably have all these things happening simultaneously, which is why they don't like reference each other at all, saying like, "Oh, it was weird that Wanda did that thing. Hey, let's go and solve a terrorist problem." I think that like probably by the end of Loki, all the other shows have ended around the same time, and now Wanda is going to exploit the multiverse war to try and find alternate versions of her kids to pull.
That would make the most sense that they're happening at the same time, and it would. And unlike the other, Marvel stories where it's like, well, where the heck was everyone when Spider-Man really needed their help or whatever. Because, we had Westview, which was literally its own bubble. And then we had Loki basically off-world the whole time. Outside of time. And then, Bucky and Sam were on Earth addressing a very specific terrorist threat. So there really was no need for them to, intertwine at all.
Yeah,
but
entirely possible.
Definitely with WandaVision and Loki, you see where they're going to cross paths.
Yeah.
Very obvious. I think it's pretty obvious with the ending of their shows. Although Loki still not over.
I will say it has been since confirmed that Doctor Strange had a scene written in WandaVision that was cut, because Benedict Cumberbatch couldn't make it out there due to COVID-19, because he would have had to isolate for 2 weeks in order to shoot it. It was a very quick scene. We don't know what it was. We don't know what it was meant to be. We have some assumptions, but it's clear that Doctor Strange is going to be a huge part of the tapestry of Marvel moving forward and the multiverse problem. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of Doctor Strange. I don't know if they're going to cap this. I'm just theorizing the war may be stopped, but I think we're still going to be stuck with certain variants and certain multiverses in existence indefinitely, because that's the only way that anything can continue in Loki.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm very confused still with multiverse. It's a lot for my little brain to handle. I'm very new to this Marvel life, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
I mean, this is a wild time to be getting into He
Yeah.
I
used to
know.
be like 5 superheroes.
I feel like WandaVision and Loki both have been a wild ride for my brain.
Well, you started with WandaVision, didn't
I
you?
did.
Like, the entire MCU, you started with WandaVision.
I
I
did.
thought you were crazy, by the way. I was
I
like,
did.
what is she doing? Like, how is she gonna? It's like me just being like, all right, I'm gonna pick.
I'm gonna watch the last Lord of the Rings.
WandaVision.
I'm just gonna watch the last Lord of the Rings movie, and that's the only one. And that's it. Not even that. Like, let me watch
Well,
the last Hobbit movie and expect to know what the heck is going on.
let me just say in my defense, I was on Instagram and I saw all these people say how cute WandaVision was. I'd been wanting to get back into reactions. I was like, oh, what the heck? I'll do WandaVision. It's cute. It's Disney. It's on brand for me. I was like, oh, I didn't know how people was into the whole storyline. I didn't know all this going on. I also didn't know that Vision was already dead in the like I had no. I just was like, oh my gosh.
Tim was
No
like,
idea.
He's
like,
alive.
Tim's telling me, he's like, man, and she doesn't even know that Vision's literally dead. That
I don't know.
just a
I didn't know.
figment, like, we don't really know what he is, but we know he's dead.
Well, we started watching those videos before we were
like,
connected.
yeah.
So I was watching
like
that. And I was like,
we weren't friends.
what is this girl
we weren't
doing?
friends yet. But I was like, why would she start with Wanda? Like, what's the deal? Oh,
I
it
got
was
a lot of hate comments saying that exact thing. A lot of people were so mad at me, and then I'd have people. It was so funny. I'd have people like commenting so mad at me for doing it, and then I'd have like another person comment and be like, "Leave her alone. She can start where she wants to start."
Leave alone. I mean, I wasn't mad. I was just
No, I know. It was like
I
funny
think I
though.
compared it to like, I'm just gonna get the 6th Harry Potter book, and I'm gonna read that and expect to know exactly what's going on. But it
Oh,
just you're
Because I've heard that Harry and Hermione are really cute
it was
together.
adorable in your like confusion and excitement, and the fact that I don't know if just anyone could pick up WandaVision and then be like, I gotta watch the rest of this stuff.
yeah. I didn't enjoy the first 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes were very hard for me to get through. It was very strange because I knew it was Marvel and it was just I was like not expecting I was expecting action and I didn't get that. But then like obviously I don't know. I will say like this if I would have started with Loki, it would have been a whole different I mean I would have been so immersed like so much quicker because this was like my thing. Like Loki has been my favorite. It's very because the emotional development of characters and like all that is my jam. And this was just that was it. Which WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier were great, and I still have a lot to watch. Obviously, I will say I will share because like. I forgot to show. April sent me these really cute Captain America ears. Oh, not Captain America. They're Iron Man. Sorry, I'm thinking April because April loves Captain America. But they're
It's so good.
They're I'm gonna try to show them. They're Iron Man. Hang on, Iron Man ears. I don't know if April's
I
still
see a
on
little
here.
Iron Man in there.
Yeah, there's a little Iron Man, and he's on the bow as well with the Hulk. The Hulk has a little cameo up here. But I will say, I said this in my last one, the Iron Man is not my favorite anymore. He's been replaced by Loki.
It's been Loki. That's fair.
Fair.
It is fair. I still think Iron Man's one of my favorite overall, but
I do love Iron Man.
Team Cap, anybody? Cap?
I like Captain America. I do. I don't know who. I'm gonna have to watch them all. I feel like I just always have the unpopular opinions about like everything. You guys saw my Shadow and Bone live. You know, I just have the most unpopular opinions.
You were getting murdered, and I didn't know anything about Shadow and Bone. I just knew you were getting murdered by your cousin.
I know. I thought I was. Well, it was her and Christina. They both were against me, and I was very shooketh.
You're crazy.
I have one thing to say about Steve.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you have to pull up Steve's comment.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, Steve. I'm very bad.
The Ben Affleck Daredevil is very hit or miss. I have seen it. I actually own it on DVD. I thought it was all right. Colin Farrell plays Bullseye. It's an entertaining movie to watch. I'm sorry, Steve. We know that's not MCU. But But what I can say, if anybody out there doesn't know, you heard it first on the Kaylee Hopkins channel. Netflix's Daredevil has been confirmed to appear in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, that actor.
Yeah, from Stardust that I can't remember his name.
I used to know his name. I can't remember now. I do like him.
It should come through to me. Hold on, I can IMDb this really quick.
I was about to say Matt, and I was like, that's the name of the character.
That's the name. Yeah, Charlie Cox.
Yeah, Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox has been confirmed to appear in Spider-Man 3. We are not sure yet whether it will be mainline or whether it will be a multiversal exploit, but he's there.
I do have one question that is kind of back on Loki. So do you guys think that Loki himself will be in other movies before the second season of Loki comes out?
Repeat the question again.
Loki, we're gonna see
before the second season. Do you think he'll be in other movies about the multiverse, or do you think that do you think he'll be in Doctor Strange?
It depends on when Loki 2 comes.
Not in Spider-Man.
I don't think he's going to be in Spider-Man.
Daredevil. Or sorry, maybe
Daredevil.
in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I think it's possible he's in Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange comes out before Loki season 2.
It will.
I feel like he needs to be in Doctor Strange. I'm just so excited. I'm almost more excited now that they're apart and to see how they grow back together. I could be a fool though. I could be a clown. Just put clown makeup on me and a red nose. Maybe I'm a clown for thinking that they're going to end up back together and it'd be just beautiful. Because sometimes Marvel doesn't deliver on the beautiful romances. So I mean, who knows? But that's what I'm hoping for.
Kaylee, sometimes I still can't believe that Loki's still just not dead, floating out in space somewhere. Because I will tell you, there was obviously some very painful scenes that happened throughout Infinity War and Endgame, but seeing Loki getting killed pretty early on was not my favorite thing to see. And I was like, oh my gosh.
And Heimdall.
I was like, Tom Hiddleston must have wanted out, and they had to kill him. He must be done playing Loki. Oh, I'm so sad.
Right. Tom Hiddleston's ever going to be done
I love him as Loki. I guess he's done, and he just wanted to be killed off in a cool way or something. Okay, fine. And he still technically didn't, die a bad guy. So I guess that's okay. And then they're like, there's the Loki show, and I'm like, but how? And we get him back, and he's not dead, and he's back.
Yeah.
He's gotten the same but different character development he would have gotten if he had lived through that timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think he's
he might even be an even better version of Loki, having been through the Loki show. But
yeah. I think he's better. I think he's better version than he was in Ragnarok for sure. And I think he's better too because of, Mobius. He wouldn't have probably met Mobius in the normal timeline. And Mobius definitely made a big impact on him. Knowing what happened and how his brother and his dad felt about him, and also seeing his death, I think is pretty impactful. And then Sylvie, hearing about what Sylvie went through and her struggles. And I think all of that really changed him and made him more of a fighter for the people than we've seen him be. He's had a lot of lines this whole season where he's really been they're gonna just let these people die, and he's slowly become more
the wheels are turning.
The little dots have been there along the way of him being a little more aware of it. Like he says to Sylvie, this is more than just about you and me. It's more than us. Mm-hmm. And he's just growing up so fast. It's so sweet.
I think too, and this would be a complicated contract to work out. So I don't know if it's even possible, let alone practical. But it would be fascinating to see this Loki come into contact with Thor in season 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because Chris Hemsworth is all but stated he's never going to stop playing Thor if there's more roles for Thor. And Natalie Portman is going to take over the hammer. So that leaves him. I think he's slated to be in both Love and Thunder and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because he shot scenes for both already. So it's possible,
Yeah.
it's possible that he could just step into Loki for a little bit once he's contractually obligated, or he's, I guess, released from his contractual obligations to perform in the movies, that he could step over into the TV and lend his voice or his abs.
His abs.
Present.
It would be really cool to see
Yeah.
that. This, like you guys said, this Loki was developed much quicker, but also without the shadow of Thor on him.
And that's
So-
why he thinks Loki is dead.
Yes, and would mourn his loss, and would have
Again.
seen this development happen.
Learned it again. Like the third
I'll
time
be
he
like,
had to mourn.
"Wait, hold on. How many times are you gonna fake your death?"
Like morning number 4. Like it's gone on too many times. I said this like way back in episode 1, before I knew that this was going to turn into a romance that I didn't even know I needed. I said that my biggest like hope for not even this season, but just overall for Loki and Loki's storyline is I want him to have like more good moments with Thor, or to have this appreciation for his brother. I mean, obviously they have had hard times, but I still like in episode 1, that scene where like Thor was like, you know, I want to trust you. I like want to be on your side. I want us to work together, but like, you know, he can't trust him. And I just want him to be like, you can though, like you can trust me. Like we can work together. And I think obviously we saw it early in the season. Like there was that scene in episode 2 where he like looked around, like it was like the storm in Alabama. And, you know, they saw him like looking up at the sky. And like, I just feel like he really I feel like he wouldn't be as hateful to Thor and have as much resentment towards Thor if he could go back and like be there. I think he would appreciate his brother more and work with his brother more.
I think classic Loki story about being in isolation and he said, "I missed my brother," may have touched something in him too. Because that touched me. He's like, "I missed my brother." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
And then there's child Loki that's like, I killed Thor.
But I don't know.
I didn't mean to, but it happened.
We didn't really get to.
I'm sure Kid Loki will be back.
dig into
and Alligator
Kid Loki.
Lady.
No, he'll be back. I think he'll be back for like the kids. I don't know what it's called, the Next Generation, but I think him and then Wanda's kids will be back.
I don't know about Kid Loki and the Next Avengers.
No, I swear I saw it on an Easter egg video. They said that something about in the comics there was Kid Loki or something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be a fool.
I just think it's unlikely. But
this video is on here forever, so we will come back to this moment if I'm correct, which I'm probably not. But if I am, I will timestamp it. I will timestamp it. When I'm like re-editing this video, like, because I am going to like edit highlights of this, hopefully, if I ever have time. Probably not, but I was going to try to like do it as like a reaction video and then re-edit some highlights. I will have a timestamp that says if Kid Loki ever appears on anything, and then I'm gonna like have it so I can just go.
Hashtag Kid Loki Next Avengers or something.
Yeah. So I can go back, and when it occurs, I'll be like, okay, Tim, go to this link, click on this time. Remember when you said it was unlikely?
It's going to be a yarn.io clip that just keeps sending me. I don't think it's going to be in the multiple. Yeah, I don't think it's likely.
I'll get you to make a GIF of it, and we can just keep watching it. I don't think it'll happen. Anyways, we can go ahead and wrap it up. I feel like I probably will have other things to say at a date when my brain has time to process everything that was this episode. It was a lot. I still don't know why I cried. Literally before it was like them fighting and I was crying.
I think it was the appropriate time to emote. So
yeah. But thank you guys so much for taking time out of your anniversary week to come and do this reaction with little old me. I had fun.
We did too.
It's only one day usually, so we're happy to do it the next day.
I mean, I got to work this weekend, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we've of course been waiting to watch Loki too, so this worked out perfectly for us.
Oh, I know. I have like one of my coworkers at work that watches it, and every time that I like have to wait, she's like, have you seen it yet? And I'm like, no, you better not tell me anything about it. And like, I don't know. April said there was a moment that she thought about me. I'm assuming it was the kiss moment. I could be wrong, but I'm 99.9% sure
There
that
was a whole like 5 minutes of me thinking he would like this and knowing because we were watching it together. So
yeah. That whole pretty much, I guess all of it. I guess from the point where they started fighting and he was trying to stop her up until the kid. Well, even after that, the we at the end, which is so stupid. And people would be like, oh, they don't mean anything. But I'm like, it means something to me. That we was significant. I will cling to the we. And then if they ever get back together and he's like kind of pissed at her or something, I'll be like, no, we. I don't think he would be though. That would shock me if they ever got back together and he would be like, this is all your fault. Like that would shock me if he like ever acted that way or like was like that. Cause like he said, I feel like he really does understand. And obviously he's upset that there's war, but he also is upset that she's hurting. And this is what, like, I feel like it's just going to be worse on her too, you know?
Oh, no, it's going to be the How to Train Your Dragon 3 moment that made everyone sob when she spends like the next 6 to 8 months or however long the gap of time is blaming herself for everything that's gone wrong in the multiverse and hiding from Loki because she doesn't want to confront him about what she's done and she can't face him and look him in the eyes. And then finally he appears before her and she's like ready for him to yell at her and instead he goes, "You're as beautiful as the last day I saw you."
That was How to Train Your Dragon 2.
That was How to Train Your Dragon? Yes, that was 2.
Yeah.
I knew something.
I haven't seen it. But I thought too, you know, that scene where she like right after she kills the weird Kang guy, after she kills him and she just like breaks down and is like sobbing on the floor because I mean I don't know, I feel like she got her revenge in a way, but then I'm also like she literally betrayed Loki and like flashback to last scene, aka flashback to 2 hours ago in their universe where she literally was like, how do I know that you won't betray me? And he swears he won't and he didn't. And all he wanted to do, like he said, is he wants her to be okay and he wants to like make it okay for her. But he also doesn't want the whole world to come to an end, you know. And here she is. And she just betrayed him and went against, like, couldn't even listen to what he was saying. And I don't know. I think it hurt her for them not, like she said, like, why aren't we on the same page? And she was like, that frustrates her. But I'm like, I feel so bad. And so I can agree to that. I do think she's going to have a lot of shame with facing him again, because I feel like she did the one thing like that he said he wouldn't do to her, and I don't think he ever would have, but she did. She betrayed him, and I think it hurt her more than it hurt him. I don't know. Anyways, I could go on. I'm not going to because this is too long. But thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, April, for coming on in the chat. And everyone else. I had one comment while we were reacting that's not on here anymore, I'm sure, but it's the Villain's Princess. Hello. Thank you. Hi.
Hope you enjoyed
we were having feelings when you were on here, so sorry that I didn't see that comment until like way later. But anyways, I will catch you guys on. Oh wait, okay. I'm a terrible host. Tim and Katie, what do you guys have coming up for April? Tell April what you have coming.
So we just today released a collaboration with Morgan from Teaching Disney, where we went to Hershey Park and did a scavenger hunt. That actually turned out to be a super fun day. We did not complete the list, spoiler alert. So you'll have to watch the video to see why.
How well we did.
But we came very close. And then next, we still need to work out what we're doing next weekend. There will be a vlog. We're doing a post-mortem celebration of our anniversary because Katie's actually working this weekend. So we won't be able to celebrate as we had planned to. And then towards the end of the month, we're actually doing another collab with Roadside Trippers, Mitch and Devin, out in Orlando. For one day, we're going to go out and be vegans for a day. And they're going to lead us around and have us try all kinds of cool foods that
plant-based foods
we otherwise would not have experimented and tried ourselves. So we're actually kind of looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our slate for the next couple of weeks. And then beyond that, we have stuff going on with you in the fall.
In October. Woo, woo. Yep. I'm excited. Of course, you guys have awesome videos. I can't wait to see the Hershey vlog. I was so sad. I got home from work and I had to like hurry up and eat and do this. And I was like, I need to watch the Hershey Park vlog. I'm so excited. So that's probably going to be happening tonight. Of course, I'm going to keep doing reaction videos and try to be more consistent, which has been a struggle because life lately, guys, life. But also this Sunday, I have a collab coming up for Year of the Year, and it is actually a Marvel themed Year of the Year. So I got a nice pair of Marvel ears that I'm excited to share. I actually already opened them. They're really cute. And then, of course, I have a video talking about April's ears that she sent me, which are so cute. So I will have that video out eventually. And also have a video of what you guys sent me for my birthday. So that's going to come out eventually too.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. Tim, squeaking.
Yes. I was wondering if you'd notice.
I did. Halfway, I was like, it was in the middle of our like chat though. It was like after the reaction. I know.
A Loki shirt today because I just don't have one. So I put on this green shirt, which matches aesthetically with the theme. And it happens to be the shirt that I received from Miss Kaylee Hopkins not a few days ago for my birthday.
Yeah. I love it. Anyways, I will go ahead. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Squeaking.
I love it. This is perfect though. This is really close. This is perfect. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you, Tim and Katie, for joining me, and thank you everyone for joining us in the chat. This was a really fun finale episode, and I can't wait to see what they do with season 2. See y'all later. Bye.